Hello friends, so today we can discuss the first 3 problems from the latest LeetCode bi-weekly contest 47. So I managed to solve the first 3 problems in this contest. The fourth problem is a little bit difficult, so I first have to solve it and try to find out the solution, and then I will try to upload the solution of that last problem also. But in this video we can discuss the first 3 problems. The first problem is find the nearest point that has the same x or y coordinate. In this problem you are given x and y and also an array of points. Now you actually have to find out that, let's assume that this is one point which is x comma y and these are an array of points. Now you have to find out among all of these points which point has either the same x or same y. So as you can see, this first point do not matches either the x or y, the second point matches the x point. So the points which are valid are those points which either matches the x or y, and among all those points you have to find out the Manhattan distance, between this point and the point which is valid, and the point which is at the smallest Manhattan distance is the final output. But even if there are points which has the same Manhattan distance, then the point which has the smallest index, so maybe this point is valid and maybe this point is also valid, and if you find out the Manhattan distance between this point and this point and also this point and this point, they are same. I'm just assuming out, so you just have to output the Manhattan distance or the index of that element which is having the smallest Manhattan distance and the smallest index. Even if you have found out a Manhattan distance within even smaller, then you will update that answer. So I hope you understand the question part. So the logic part is also very simple. You just iterate over all the points and find out whether each point is a valid point or not by just comparing the x coordinate with this and y coordinate with this. If either of that matches, then it is a valid point. If it is a valid point, then what you actually have to do here is find out the Manhattan distance between this point and the x and y point. If it is a Manhattan distance is smaller than the smallest which I have encountered till now, then update the index or else not. So I'll show you the code part now. Just find out minimum is the minimum Manhattan distance, the global Manhattan distance. As you can see, the point is very small, so that's why I've taken a very large element or the distance. So because 10 to the power 4, so the Manhattan distance cannot be maximum or greater than 10 to the power 2 to 10 to the power 4. So I've taken a number which is 2, like 10 to the power 5. Then iterate over all the points. Then what you actually have to do here is, if x is equal to this or y equal to this, which means that either x or y matches out, then find out the Manhattan distance, and if this Manhattan distance is smaller than, as you can see, the minimum value, then update the minimum value and the index. And if in the end maybe there is no valid point, so if there is no valid point, the minimum will not change. So if the minimum is still remaining this, then the answer is -1, which means that I haven't found out any valid point, as the answer is the index, because we have to return out the index. Now the second problem is check if the number is a sum of power of 3. Now as you can see in this problem, you are given some n, and also you are given that you have to find out that whether you can represent this number as a sum of distant power of 3s. You cannot repeat it out. Which I mean by this is, as you can see, you are representing this 12 as a summation of distant, like different power of 3. So power of 3 can be 3 to the power 1, 3 to the power 2, 3 to the power 3 and so on till 3 to the power 0. And as you can see in this problem, n can be up 10 to the power 7. Okay, so now you just have to understand that can you easily find out, so it's like a DP problem, I hope you get the point, in which whether if you find out all the values of 10 to the power 3 which are less than 10 to the power 7, so if you find out some value which is more than 10 to the power 7, it cannot be valid answer because all my n is less than 10 to the power 7. So if you want to make any n as a sum of the smaller 10 to the power, like 3 to the power some number power or summation, then you have to assume that all the numbers should be less than 10 to the power 7. So you just easily find out all the numbers which are 3 to the power of n which are less than 10 to the power 7 and just store them in an array. Then either you take that element or you not take that element, and you just have to check that out whether after n you just found out the answer or not. Now I just easily find out that how many numbers which are 3 to the power n are less than 10 to the power 7. Okay, what you can easily do here is iterate from n equal to 0, 1, 2, so on. You just put 3 to the power 1, it is less than 10 to the power 7, yes, 3 to the power 2, less than 10 to the power 7, okay. So you just keep on iterating and push them in some array, which all number are 3 to the power of n which are less than 10 to the power 7. If you exceed 10 to the power 7, then just break out. Okay, so if you just store out all the values, I just find out what is the length of the array which is storing out all the values of 3 to the power n, and it comes out to 15, which means that total of 15 numbers which are in a format of 3 to the power n, which are less than 10 to the power 7. So I just stored down all the numbers in this array, which is A, and then what you actually do here is I just stored, as you can see, while n num which is less than this 10 to the power 7, I just push down that number and increment my next number 10 to the power 3. Okay, so then I just store out all the numbers which are 3 to the power some n number in some array. Now what you actually have to do here is, because they are very small, what you can do here is you can use binary representation, which is like some bit masking form, in which what you can, if you have understand what bit masking is, what you can easily do here is maybe you have 50 numbers. Okay, so what you can do here is, or we just boil down to 3 numbers. Let's assume you have 3 numbers, x1, x2, x3, and you have to find out all the possible permutations, in which maybe I just take out the first number, the first and second number, the first and third number. So how you can do that? You can just iterate over, it's like a bit formation, this is equal to 1. If you find out, iterate from 0 till 2 to the power of 3 all the numbers and count out how many bits are open or bits are closed, then just accordingly switch or take that number or not, you can easily find out. Or if you just look into the Google also, how to find out all the permutations, or if you have to take out any 3 numbers. So as you can see, whether you are how many subsets you can form, as you can see, whether I just take out 1 number or 1 or 2 number or 1 or third number and so on. So you just have to find out all the subsets. Okay, so now what we'll actually have to do here is, we just use some sort of bit masking to find out all the subsets, and then we just have to find out that whether any of the subset is equal to the n number which we have. If that equal to that, then the answer is yes, because we can easily add them out and find out the answer, else no. So that's what we are doing here is, first find out all the values and push them in this A vector, then we just iterate over all the possible values, which means that because there are 15 numbers, what we'll do, we'll iterate from 0 till 2 to the power of 15 all the numbers. This number is very small, so you can easily iterate it in O of n. Then for all numbers, represent that number in the bit representation of 15 bits. Okay, so then maybe you have 15 numbers, a1, a2, a3 and so on. Then maybe you just have to take out the first element, because all the numbers are in 3 representation, which is like the numbers are 3 to the power 0, 3 to the power 1, 3 to the power and so on. So the first case can be just take out the first number, second case can be first and second number, the third case can be just take out the second number, the first, second, third number and so on. So you can just iterate over all the possible numbers and find out that whether any number is equal to the n number, because I'm just iterating over all the possible combinations. If any of them is equal to n, then the answer is yes, else the answer is no. So that's what we are doing. We just iterating over all the numbers and finding out. So if we take out the first and the third number, we have to add them, because we are taking the first number and the third number. So we are just adding all the numbers, and if any of the num is equal to n, then the answer is true, because we have formed out a number. Or else if we iterate over all the possible numbers, if we do not match, then the answer is false. Okay, you can also look over this code to even make it more clear. Then we'll move on to the last question. It actually states that you are given some string s, and then what you actually have to do here is, you just have to find out that whether, for any string s, the beauty of that string is the difference of the frequency between the most frequent and the least frequent character. As you can see, the most frequent character in this is equal to a, and the least frequent is b, so the frequency or difference of that is 3 minus 1, which is 2. Now you are given some string, and now in that string you have to find out every possible substring, and in each possible substring what you actually have to do here is, you just have to find out what is the beauty, the sum of the beauties of all the substring. Now because the length is very small, you can do this in O of n square, which means if we have to find out the beauty of all the substrings, it will take O of n square, if you have to iterate over all the possible substrings, we'll take O of n square, and for every substring we just have to check out or find out what is the minimum and maximum. So you just iterate over the 26 characters, because for every substring we have taken out, we'll take O of n square time, and for each O of n square we have to iterate over whether that substring is like for every substring, we just have to check out that whether among those 26 characters which you have stored out, what is the maximum frequency and what is the minimum frequency. So this is the time complexity, which is O of n square into 26. So this is constant. So this is O of n square also. And as you can see, the constraints are very small. So you can just do this. So in the simple terms, we just iterate over every substring, and then for every substring, we'll find out that frequency of every character. And for every character, we just find out the minimum and maximum frequencies, and then just subtract them, the maximum and minimum out, add them for every substring, and that's the answer. So I'll show you the code part now. As you can see, we just iterate over. So if maybe our string is equal to this A, B, C, D, E, F, this. Okay. So what we can, for iterating out for every substring, what we'll do, we'll take 2 pointers. One pointer is pointing at this point, and the other pointer starts from this point and take out all the substrings starting this point. So what I mean by this is, maybe my first substring is A, B, A, B, this. So as you can see, the first point is fixed, and all the substrings starting at this point are taken. Now my ith move from this pointer, so the next substring is this, and so on. So now as you can see, all the points are taken. So now we'll move to the next point, and all the substrings are taken, and so on. So that's what we're doing here. We just make my I equal to 0, and then for every point we'll make, so for every substring, what we can do here is, starting from this, so as you can see, if we have like this substring only A, B, C, D, E, F, we'll make a frequency map to store the frequencies, okay, for every substring. So what we'll do here is, starting from this, when we have fixed my left point, we'll make a frequency map of 26. Now when we take out the first character, we'll update this in map A. Then we'll again find out that character A, will update it, the frequency become 2. Then for B, my frequency become 1. So now for every point, when we have a left pointer which is fixed, when we move from right to left, we just update one character, and I just find out my new frequency map. And for the new frequency map, you just iterate over that whole frequency map from left to right, and just find out among those 26 characters what is the maximum, what is the minimum. So that's what we're doing. For starting from j equal to I till n, okay, what we're doing, we're just updating out that character, and that's my new frequency. Now for that particular frequency map, you have to find out the maximum and minimum. We just iterate over the 26 characters and find out the maximum and minimum. Okay, we just also have to ensure that the value should not be 0, because for finding out the minimum, we'll take the 0 value also, but because 0 means that character is not present at all. So why we have to take it? 0 means that find out the minimum among all the frequencies which are present. Okay, so if the character is not present, the frequency is 0, but we just don't have to count that out. So we just have to iterate over all the frequencies, but if that character is not there, we don't have to count it out. And we just update my minimum maximum in just O of n, iterating over the 26 characters and finding out. Then total is the total of incrementing, or just finding out the total of the maximum and minimum difference, because maximum is always greater than the minimum. Maybe the frequency is also same, so we just return out 0 also in this case. Maybe in some cases we just add them in all the possible substrings, and just in the end return out the total sum of the substrings, the beauty of all the substrings. I hope you understand the logic and the code. This is also brute force way. I also go through the last problem and try to upload that solution also. So I'll see you next one. Till then, keep coding. Bye.